Pedantic. Now, this is a word we often use to describe someone who is excessively concerned with minor details or rules, overly scholarly or academic to the point of being annoying or even boring. Think of someone who constantly corrects small errors in someone else's speech, or who insists on showing off their knowledge of obscure facts, often in a way that feels condescending or nitpicky. That's the essence of being pedantic. The word pedantic has an interesting history that connects it to education. It comes from the French word pedant, which originally meant teacher. This French word, in turn, comes from the Italian pedante, which also meant teacher, specifically a schoolmaster. The Italian word pedante is believed to have its roots in the late Latin word pedagogans, the present participle of pedagogare, meaning to educate, or to act as a pedagogue. A pedagogue was a slave in ancient Greece who escorted children to school and often tutored them. So, the original connection of pedantic to teachers and education is clear. However, over time, the connotation of the word shifted. It moved from simply describing someone involved in teaching to characterizing a specific style of teaching or knowledge sharing that is overly focused on minor details and can be irritating to others. Think about how you might use pedantic. He was being so pedantic, correcting every tiny grammatical error I made. Or, the professor's lecture was incredibly pedantic, focusing on minute details that weren't relevant to the main topic. In both cases, it highlights an excessive and often unwelcome focus on small points. It's interesting how a word that once simply referred to educators developed this negative connotation. It likely arose from the perception that some teachers can be overly concerned with trivial details and can come across as condescending in their attempts to impart knowledge. So, while a certain level of attention to detail is important in education, being pedantic suggests taking that focus to an unproductive and often irritating extreme.